Unfortunately, I had one several years back, and we did it for a game. I try to collect as many facts as I can about what actually happened. I meet with a player. I meet with Gene Smith. Obviously, a very serious one. And then come to conclusion, we had a one game. He's also losing a scholar. He forfeited a scholarship for a term. You know, I've done that before. The last issue we had like this, it wasn't quite as serious. Was like the Muhort thing, and they lost their scholarship. And so when a kid has an issue like that, there's some type of punitive damage as far as missing a game or something, and then they forfeit their scholarship at some point. They can earn it back.
You know, like I said, I know that, you know, everybody's going to make mistakes, and, you know, yeah, I was pissed when I heard, you know, that he did that. But I've had so many repeated experiences of his high character and him doing the right thing and being a great person, being a great leader. You know, you just got to get. I'm going to move on from it. I'm not okay with what he did, but I'm going to move on from it. I'm going to forgive him, and I think the way he's handled it so far and the way he handles it moving on will be really telling for some of the younger guys that don't maybe have as much experience with JT. But I think everybody's heard him as that voice in the locker room. I think guys still respect him. They understand that he made a mistake. But, you know, me personally, I'm going to be able to forgive him and move on. But I think for some of the younger guys that haven't been around as much, the way he handles it, which I know he'll handle it great.
And I told him that's the toughest thing he'll ever have to deal with, is that now there's some questions who you are. And I imagine he's never had to deal with that because JT's always been JT. And yes, he may be a little too short. His arm strength maybe not, you know, that. And he can deal with that. How do you deal with that? You work a little harder. How do you deal with, you know, what is he, 20 years of doing right and 30 seconds of doing wrong, or 3 minutes, whatever it was? That's real, though. And that's something he's going to have to deal with. And I'm going to try to help him. We all are going to try to help him because that's going to be that's the toughest thing he'll have to deal with as far as protecting his name.
They were really fired up for that game. You know, losing their coach, and you know, they just seemed like they were playing with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and they were fired up for that game and ready for that game. And you know, I'm sure it'll be the same for us. You know, it's scheduled to be a night game, and you know, they're coming off a tough loss, which, you know, either of those teams could have won that game. So I think they're confident in the fact that they are a good team. And like I said, they played us tough last year. So, you know, I don't think they're going to back down by any means. So, you know, it could be one of the toughest games thus far for us this year.
I think they played their best game. They were very inspired, played tremendous in that game on both sides of the ball. Against a very good team, so I think they're an excellent team. They're hitting their stride right now as well.